everyone. So today we are going to talk about place of articulation and manner of articulation. So first we have the place of articulation. So place of articulation is the location where coming together occurs. There are several places of articulation in English. So first, we have here the bilabial. Bilabial really means that both lips come together to make a sound. Like for example, ba, bat, and man. That's the example of bilabial. So next, we have the labiodental. So labiodental, the bottom of your lip touches the upper of your teeth. So like for example, food and van. That's the example of labiodental. So next, we have dental. The tongue touches the upper teeth like this. Like for example, thank and that. That's the example of dental. So next, we have the alveolar. So the tip of the tongue touches or get close to the alveolar. So just behind the upper teeth, like this. For example, dog. That's the example of alveolar. So next, we have the post-alveolar. So the tongue is placed just behind the alveolar ridge. Like for example, chair and judge. So that's the example of post-alveolar. So next, we have the palatal. So the middle of the tongue touches the hard palate. So the roof of the mouth, like for example, yeah, yes. That's the example of palatal. So next, we have the velar. The back of the tongue touches the soft palate. So like for example, cat and go. That's the example of velar. So next, we have the glottal. The sound is produced in the glottis, the space between the vocal cords. Like for example, ha, hat. So that's the example of glottal. So let's proceed to manner of articulation. So, manner of articulation, which is just a fancy way of saying how we make different sounds when we are speaking. So, first we have the plosives. So, these are sounds where it completely block the airflow when release it suddenly. Like for example, pen and b bat, and also t, t. So that's the example of plosives. So next, we have the fricatives. So the two articulators move closer so that the air flows through a small opening. This causes air turbulence, which became audible. So, like for example, fun or half. Next, we have very and have. That's the example of fricatives. So next, we have the affricate sounds. So affricate sounds are a mix of a stop and the fricatives. So the air is black, then released with friction. Like for example, cheese and jam. So that's the example of affricate. Next, we have the nasal sounds. So with nasal sounds, we block the mouth, but Let's air escape through the nose. Like for example, moon and night. So that's the example of nasal sounds. So last is the approximant. So these are smooth sounds where the articulators come close but don't create any friction. Like for example, r, rain, and yeah, yeah, yellow. So that's the approximant. So that's all. Thank you everyone. Bye.